Hello, everyone. I hope that everyone is good. Today, our special guest is there with us, Mr. Saint Murad. And as we had very fruitful stream last Saturday, so this Saturday also we have arranged one sitting with Saint Murad. Hi, Saint Murad. How are you? Welcome to our channel again.
Hello, Glory. It's always good to be with you and with the people, the Urdu speaking people. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving time to our channel. And without any delay, I'll just request you that please speak about our topic. So, for everyone, our topic is today for Saint Murad will tell us about the literal Quran translation, the first literal Quran translation. And I already pinned his coffee with me link in the chat, so you can see there and you can download the translation for yourself. And there is a free version and there is a paid version as well, so please go and check. And in some time, okay, I have Maud with us, Ash. Can you please share Saint Murad channel also? And I'll request everyone to please subscribe his channel as well. Yes, Saint Murad, please, over to you.
Yeah, now I am sharing my screen and I will tell people about the first non Islamic Quran translation. I just want to make sure that people can see my screen now.
Yes. Actually, I will ask everyone, please, can you confirm our audio? Both of us, me and Sain Murad, is audible. And plus, if you can see the screen also. Because for me, I can see the screen. If you guys can confirm, so we will start our presentation.
Okay, so I see the screen on my end.
Mhm.
Uh, we will talk about my Quran translation, which is language based, and this is very different than any other Quran translation. Now, let me tell you my story. I am a native Arabic speaker from the Middle East. Arabic is my mother tongue. I have never studied in any Islamic institution, and that is a plus. That is why I am not polluted with the sin propaganda, standard Islamic narrative propaganda. This is the da'wah script that everyone memorizes online. These are the guys who leave the same comments on our videos. Throughout this journey, I was in a game of chess with the Quran as I was translating it. The very first time I encountered an English Quran translation was when I made videos with Mel of Islamic origins. The channel used to be called Sneakers Corner. And this is how the story goes. Basically, I contacted him. We made our first video. We were talking about Alexander the Great, and then I had to pull up some Quranic verses. So I had to use a Quran translation because it was not easy for me to translate it. I mean, why would I when there are all these translations? So I stumbled across Abdullah Yusuf Ali translation, and with time I saw how horrible these translations were. So I used to translate the few verses which I was going to talk about during the video. Then with time I took upon myself the project to actually translate the Quran, a proper translation. Now, this is a sinless Quran translation. This does not have the sin. We all have a common enemy, as we have known from the previous presentation, and that is the sin. The only reason you trust the sin is that you never knew it was this bad and you think it has no valid alternative. The sin is hiding the primitive layer of the Quran, which was suppressed mostly by the Abbasids. So if you think of an onion, you have the very heart of the onion and then you have the outer layers. The Quran we have today, it's as if it's an onion with the outer layers. We do not know what the heart has. I said to myself, never touch the sin and let's translate the Quran without it. I knew I was the only one to do that. So I swore an oath to deliver my people, the ones listening to me, the best possible sin-less Quran translation. So a Quran without using Al-Tabari, without using Al-Bukhari, no Sunnah, no Hadith, no nothing. Just letting the Quran speak. Not just because I am very passionate about the subject, but also because people on YouTube gave me so much love and I want to give back. So at this point, we now have Muslim Quran translators and non Muslim. So you have here, these are the Muslims. Non Muslim would be people like Osama, Robert Spencer, and Mary. Now, what did they have next to them as they were translating? They had the sin. That's why I say they are an orange. But what did I have next to me as I was translating the Quran? Well, I had linguistics. I had the Oxford Dictionary. I had Al-Furuq al-Lughawiyya, we will talk about it. And I had the Arabic dictionary, most important. That's why I am an apple. So you will be comparing apples to oranges if you say, what's the difference between mine and theirs? Huge difference. I want to ask you at this point, what do you think before I proceed?
Yeah, this point we have discussed on the last presentation also when we had a stream with you that definitely these all people are very respectable and they have translated keeping in mind and keeping in front of them sin, and it is very interesting, and I am very keen to see today's presentation where you have not you have omitted the part of sin and then literal translation. I'm very much curious and excited to see that. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so first things first. Checking the word and its variation in every Quranic verse. This is what I have done. I used an Arabic Quran tool which finds the Quranic word in every single verse and counts them. It's called Al Munaqqib al Qur'ani, meaning the Quran mining tool. You know, like mining for petroleum. This is the meaning of the word. This really helped me to get the closest understanding to how the author actually intended the word without the pollution of the sin. Now let's see the word nasakha for example. The word nasakha is mentioned 4 times in the Quran. The word nasakha 4 times. In my translation, I have one word for this Arabic word 4 times also. Why? Because the words I choose are so accurate that they fit like a glove in every single context. I have done this with every single word in the Quran, not once, but multiple times. This helped me with my next step, creating a concordance. So, in the Saint Murad translation ladder, first thing was creating a concordance. A concordance is something like a dictionary that has every single word in the Quran. So I took out every single word into from the Quran and created this concordance. This is like if you are a doctor and you want to make a heart surgery, you have to open and see everything precisely and then start working. You cannot just do it without an open heart surgery. So the methodology is creating a concordance from scratch with every single word present in the Quran. This brought up a lot of surprises to the surface. This led to ultra sharp accuracy. Let's say the word asaba in the Quran is, people say, fingers. In my translation, it's digits, because in the Arabic, there are no fingers and toes. Rather, there are digits. In Arabic, we just have digits for a thumb or a finger or a toe. Himar, translated as donkey, in reality it's jackass. Why? Because it is only a male donkey and it is informal. Kelb, translated always as just a dog, but if you look closely, you will find that this word it means hunting. So it is specifically a hound. This is a kind of dog, a hunting dog. Now, please don't tell me, people who are listening, Murad, why is this important? Well, because if you are being mediocre or average in translating words like these, then you will be average or below average in translating words that affect the religion. So you have to have a very strong foundation. Ultra sharp word precision. You see, like a pencil, the more you sharpen it, the better. My concordance was becoming sharper and sharper by the day, sometimes serendipitously correcting errors from 14th century, meaning by surprise. Sometimes a lucky surprise is that I could crack the meaning of a word that no one knew for centuries just by using my correct method. So at this point, I ask you, what do you think before I proceed?
Yeah, this ultra sharp word precision, as you used as a tool for the translation, I can see that, for example, sometimes, not sometimes, always I can see the translator has put the layer and they are trying to translate according, not according to the meaning of that word. They are translating according to the situation or the context to make sense, to make it more good for the readers or for the listeners, basically. So if one word sharp, for example, if sharp is used a couple of time in one paragraph, the meaning should be same, it should not be changed. But so it's very nicely, as you said, that you have done the literal translation. And I am really excited to see next what you will teach us or you will share with us.
Okay, so there is a very important question one could ask me. Murad, can't I just use ChatGPT? This will get me the correct Arabic word without the sin, without al tafseer al tabari, without these people. I will say no because I personally tried this to see how good ChatGPT is with such issues. What I found is that it is more Muslim than Muslims themselves because this is how it is programmed.
Hmm.
So, no, ChatGPT is not going to help you in this regard. So, now that the concordance is getting sharper or my dictionary, I move to another step, which is I have read the entire dictionary. I then move to this next step, which is not average, reading the entire dictionary. The whole Oxford Dictionary, but the abridged version, over 4,000 pages. I think it took me like 3 weeks. Every day I used to read it. Why? To enrich and increase my vocabulary. I highlighted a lot of words that I knew might be in the Quran. So, after the concordance, reading the entire Oxford Dictionary strengthened my concordance. Then I read an actual linguistic source called Al-Furuq al-Lughawiyya al-Askari, meaning The Linguistic Differences by Al-Askari, a very important book. Why? To try and discern or to try to know the very subtle differences between every Arabic synonym. I have also noticed that Muslims do not respect the Quran at all. They say it is a linguistic miracle, but they never obsess about linguistics. They never read books like Al Askari. They read books like Al Tabari, which is very wrong, very strange. So, this next step, even further, strengthened my concordance. At this stage, I want to ask you, what do you think before I share the next slide?
As you said that Muslims, they are not reading, they will not even read their own Quran, what is a corrupted translation they get. Especially in our country, it's it's say they say that you have to read only in Arabic, even though it's not our native language. You have to learn that language and just read only Quran in Arabic, Quran in Arabic, only in Arabic, because you will get more rewards from Allah. So this kind of mentality, they are just reading it and they don't know at all what is the meaning of it, and what is the context. They just read like a parrot.
Exactly, exactly. Parrot is a good description. So, here, there are English words of Arabic origin. I have read and looked into all possible English words of Arabic origin, Why? So that the English word I choose is not just accurate in meaning, but sometimes even a direct loan word. So it sounds the same and it means the same. But don't worry, I have only used them in rare cases where the meaning and the sound are the same. So reading articles about English loan words from Arabic strengthened my concordance even further. So now the concordance is like 100% perfected at this stage. Now, what about word choice, even more precision? In Arabic, just like in English, there are words that are formal, informal, humorous, vulgar, and poetic. So after I perfected my concordance, I checked to find the perfect fit also. I also translated words back into Arabic to see what comes out so that I can further choose a better word. Arabic or archaic or modern English. Do you think we have the luxury to choose? In my translation, I have some of the old English, like thy and thou, this stuff. So I ask, do we have the luxury to choose? No, we do not. I do not care. Anything that gets the job done. So my translation is a mix of both because that is the only way to encompass a Quranic word. So the Arabic Quranic word, sometimes you will only find an archaic or old English word for it. That's the accurate one. So why have archaic pronouns? Well, you see, in English, you have a very firm translation to rely on, which is the King James. But when it comes to the Quran, you do not. That is why I had to do it this way. Is it necessary? Of course. Let me show you why. You see, in Arabic, you have anta would be singular, antum would be plural, antuma would be pair. In other translations, it will be you, you, you. Very confusing, and it's very bad for the Arabic because in the Arabic you have certain distinctions. Well, in my translation, it will be thou, ye, both of you, because the Quran is already obscure. It's already very difficult to understand, so it does not need any further obscuring. What do you think at this point?
Um, Actually, you are very thoughtful in choosing the words I can see here. And this example, before I was having a question in my mind that why you are using this archaic English and what is the requirement, but answer is here on the screen. I can understand it, and our audience also can understand the reason why you chose this. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you see, this is also a loophole that Muslims they wanna stuff Muhammad into it. They say, well, when it says you here, it talks about Muhammad. And in the Arabic, it could be actually a plural or both of you. This is one of the ways they try to fool the West. So it is very important to know if the Arabic is for one person or two people or a multitude. I started adding the final touches to my concordance, but the concordance itself is not for sale. I say this is like the KFC secret recipe, but it is all contained in my Quran translation. It took me 4 years to finish my concordance. Now that my concordance is complete, I then head to the Quran itself. And since I like being neat, I have manually dissected each surah of the Quran into PowerPoint slides like this. You see, so you have half a page in every slide, taking every page as a snapshot so that every PowerPoint slide has half a Quranic page with a blank box next to it, as you can see here. And here I put the translation. This task took me a few days to complete. So dissecting every surah into PowerPoint form, this was the next step. So now the concordance went into the translation. Next step was start translating. So I basically copied my concordance into my translation. and this resulted in over 90% consistency rate. If you read my translation, you will find it is very, very consistent because the Quran actually has very few vocabulary. All other Quran translations, not even close. They do not know what consistency even means. This step took me just a few months. So the actual translation of the Quran took me just a few months, but the concordance took me 4 years. So now I started translating from my concordance, and this got us the Murad translation. What do you think so far?
I can see that your concordance took 4 years, so it's a long job what you have done. And now, since you have the concordance and you have translated, so it's a treasure for us, and of course, we will take benefit from that. Yes, it's very much clear in your all presentation, Saint Murad. So please go ahead.
Okay, so now what about the design? How did I design this translation? I tried retaining the design of the 1924 Arabic Quran as much as I could, retaining all the symbols which are in the Arabic Quran, like this one. You will never find this in the English translation. Why? Because they do not respect the English reader. And this one, this is a prostration to God or Allah. Prostrate to Him, it must have this underneath. This is in the Arabic, they never put it in the English. I don't know why. Sorry. So, yeah, so this has to do with the design. Now, I say that my translation is a carbon copy of the original. So you have the original, this would be the Murad translation, just a carbon copy. Are there brackets in my translation? Well, only one form of brackets, but that's because I had to. You see, the word rahat, for example, it means from the Arabic dictionary, a clan ranging from 3 or 7 all the way to 10 or less. Now, how can I put this into English with just one word? It is never possible. That's why I had to put these brackets that look weird, these kind of brackets. This is just because I don't want the English reader to be fooled and to assume that this is a whole sentence in the Arabic. No, I just want to tell him that this bundle of words is just one Arabic word. I put it this way so that you know that this bundle of words actually represent one Arabic word. This is just for being neat. These are not brackets, but it is an integral part of the word, not an added commentary. Like you see with all other Quran translations, I do not have commentary. So read my brackets, they are original and they come straight from the Arabic dictionary. Now, here I will go to untranslated words in my translation. You see, this is Dr. Gert Puin, who worked on the Sana'a manuscript, which is the most ancient Quran manuscript. This is what he had to say. The Quran claims for itself to be mubin or clear, but in every fifth sentence or so simply doesn't make sense. If the Quran is not comprehensible, if it can't even be understood in Arabic, then it is not translatable. This is very important. So, untranslated words are a mistake of the author Allah, not the translator. I am okay with it being considered a negative in my translation, but I am not okay with just filling the gaps. I will not just put any word, I will not shove just any word to make it look better. So when they Arabized the Quran, because it was originally Syriac, they ruined it. The original meanings of these words are actually lost. And I want to ask you what do you think before going on?
That bracket part's actually what I was just thinking about. But actually, you have explained that for my brackets, you have to read because some Arabic words cannot be explained, and you don't want to um, corrupt, not corrupt. Basically, how to explain? You don't want the reader to think that this is something additional, but still you want to explain it. So I can see that two kind of brackets you have used, the round brackets and curly brackets also. So I mean to say that in all brackets you have done the same thing, or just the word which is required you have done it. Two kind of brackets.
Just the words that do not have any English equivalent. Like if you say from 3 to 9, is there an English word that just has this meaning from 3 to 9? Never. And
Mm,
ma'duda wa ma'dudat, for example. One means less than 11, one means more than 11. How can I put it? I have to put it in in these brackets, just so you know that this is just one Arabic word. That's the idea, really.
mm,
And they are rare. So they're just rare.
mhm. Yes, please go ahead.
Again, if I give you white sugar, eggs, baking soda, and vanilla, and milk, what will you make? You might make an amazing cake, like the Christian translators, or you might make a horrible cake, like the Muslim translators. But the moral of the story is same ingredients, same results. Now, on the other hand, if I give you yeast, flour, oil, pepperoni, and mushrooms, Glory, what will you make if I give you these ingredients?
Pizza.
Yes.
Mm,
So my translation would be a pizza, and they are all cakes. This is the Murad translation. So you have two camps, the original primitive meaning of the Quran and the sin standard Islamic rendition of the Quran. Here you have the Muslims and the non Muslims. They both worked with the same material, all oranges. Here you have me. I'm the only apple because I am the only one who actually used this methodology. So, what makes my Quran translation unique? And I say the Murad translation a better revelation. Well, my translation could be the missing link. You see, people have told me, Murad, you have to tell the people why is your product better. Then I said, better than what? It is not better, it is the first product to come into existence. It is the first ever Quran translation that ignored the entirety of the sin standard Islamic narrative. This translation will give you the hidden layer of the Quran, which was suppressed by the Abbasids and their sin standard narrative. You can say it serves as the missing link between the time of Muhammad till the Abbasid Caliphate. My translation will get you much closer to understanding the secrets of the Arabic language. Yes, it is not the final answer. The final answer might be a future Aramaic translation, but still, it is a big step towards cracking Islam's code. Now, allow me to illustrate because this will make everything much easier. Here you have Muhammad if he existed, and you have Rashidun if they existed, and then you have the Umayyads, and then you have the Abbasids. Here, all these translations, because I say they are oranges, because they worked with material from the Abbasid period and beyond. But with my translation, you are getting close to this area Muhammad, Rashidun, and Umayyads. You might be close to the Umayyads with my translation. You won't realize how much deception there is in these translations before you read mine. Almost every single word is different than what you are used to. Before I go into words that are not in my translation, what do you think so far?
I have a question here because it was before also in my mind. Now I'll put it. See, as you have given us a difference between orange and apples, and I can clearly see that why even the non-Muslim translators have used the sin technique, because it is so much of senseless words in Quran, which Allah's know or whatever. There is no context to it. We cannot understand, for example, where two wives are, for example, in Surah Tahrim, from first till fifth ayah, are Allah is scolding who, and then in tafsir we can understand it was Aisha and Hafsa and so on, so many things. So that's why the translators have used the sin, and they have done the translations. But when you omit or you remove that sin part and you literally translate it, then it will not make any sense, because it's how it will be a very much useless text to read without any meaning or anything. I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe I can put my question what is there in my mind, I'm not sure.
Well, first thing is the English reader has to know that the Quran doesn't make sense in Arabic. He has to know that. Second, some stuff I have cracked using my method. So some stuff I have decoded, and maybe it is decoded finally, like it is correct. And other things is that maybe in the real history, which is not Islamic history, real history, I mean Saint John of Damascus, or people who actually witnessed Islam firsthand, their words might give you real context to the Quran. And another thing is that maybe these verses, which do not make sense only by the sin, no, maybe they do make sense within a biblical context. So maybe the Quran is actually rehashing biblical stories. So this is the fourth explanation. You see? So it's
Hmm.
a very different way of seeing things.
Hmm. Okay, I got it, please go ahead.
So here are a list of words or things or concepts that are not in my translation. The word revelation, book, people of the book, sent down, unseen, disbelievers, infidels, battle of Badr, Yathrib, wife, husband, pair, everlasting, abrogation, hell, hellfire, missiles, forbidden, trial, test, good news, crucify, I seek refuge, lawful, unlawful, sedition, private parts, terror, booty, spoils of war, and fight. These words are not in my translation. What do you think?
Interesting. Very much interesting. How come
Well,
that these are the basic things which all day we are reading in the Quran, especially the book of the people, and booty, war, fight, even the crucifixion. How come?
yeah,
Now I'm very
when I
curious.
showed this to Adam Seeker, he told me then this is not a Quran.
Yes,
I
it is.
told him yes.
Then it is a very nice book, for the children to read, like a comic book.
It is not necessarily nice. So my
Mhm,
translation, it doesn't make it nicer, but it's
mhm,
different. It's just a little different. For example,
mhm,
the Quran has magic and incantations. People they say, I seek refuge. Oh no, you do incantations and magic. This is Ya'uz Ta'wiz. We know this. So
mhm.
these are the layers that are hidden from the people. Very important.
Okay,
So
interesting.
I say that there is a major shift. You see here, Robert Spencer, when he wrote Did Muhammad Exist? There is a before and an after, because this book was a major shift. Patricia Crone and Cook, when they wrote Hajarism, Making of the Islamic World, again, a before and after. This book you cannot just skip. Muslims know how important this book is, even if they tell you that they do not care. But what's mentioned in this book and in Did Muhammad Exist is very damaging to Islam, because it has Muhammad um, actually going to Jerusalem and getting defeated there, and the question of did he even exist? Did Mecca exist? As you know now, Mecca almost 100% never existed. Even in Wikipedia, it says that it has no history. So I actually foresee an era when there will be a before the Murad translation and an after. This is not because I'm trying to be cool, but this is because it's so strange that it will actually cause some sort of backlash. So the question, people in the chat, they could ask this. They could write or they could be thinking about it. They will say, Murad, what will I lose if I don't get your translation? It's just another translation. Well, not getting my Quran translation will cost you a lot of things. One, you will never be able to know the very literal meaning of Quranic words. Two, you will have to succumb to lies in all other Quran translations. Three, you will remain in the cage of the sin standard Islamic narrative. Four, you will never access the pre Abbasid Caliphate understanding of the Quran. So, on one level, I don't want you to miss out. And on another level, I do not want you to be fooled. You see? And how important is this project for you, the ones listening to me, as a person? Let me ask you. How important is it for you to understand the hidden layer of the Quran and get closer to cracking the code of Islam? Don't you find that this is something very curious you want to think about? And how important is it for you, if you are a Christian, because we have a lot of Christian audience, to preach to Muslims using this hidden linguistic Quranic layer? How important is it for you in general to spread such truth all over the internet? These are the questions I ask the people. So before I go into the products and the offers, if you have anything to add at this point.
No, it is very clear, and please go ahead.
So I have 4 products for the people. Just to be clear, my translation is digital only. There are no physical copies. You have an English only version, PDF, and it looks like this. You also have a Kindle version, and it looks like this. And I have created all of this myself, including the design, including everything. I do not have a Kindle myself, and I had to learn how to create a Kindle file. And you have the Arabic plus the English version, PDF. It looks like this. Here is the Arabic on the right, the English on the left. And the Kindle also Arabic and English, as you can see here. And this was very, very difficult. Like, I can't tell you how difficult it was to create this one. And so the authors. Before I go further, some people ask me, why is my translation costing money when online there are a lot of free ones? I will say, well, when you go to Walmart and you find something for free, it is because it's garbage. So why isn't mine free? Because it is not garbage. It is high value, high quality. Anyone, when he goes and he invests in something that's not free or very, very cheap, it's because it's gonna last a lifetime. It's because it's something that's very high quality, high value. So we have two offers, one with a very low price, one with a very high price. Or not very high, but kind of high. Who is the light version for? This is the cheaper one. This one is for the casual viewers. These are the silent majority, those who never comments on our videos, but are always there. The price of this product is equal to 2 of your regular coffees, but with Joe Biden, maybe 3. One product, which is complete English only version PDF, but it has some limits. So here, uh, these are the limits. You have this watermark, and it can't be printed and it cannot be highlighted. And this offer is limited to 1,000 people only. meaning once it's out, it is out. So hurry up if you want to get this one. This is the light version, this is the cheaper one. Now, what about the complete package? This is the higher, more expensive one. This one is for my warriors who believe in the cause. This one is not for the casual viewers. You will be funding much bigger projects if you wanted to invest in this one. These projects you never thought possible. I have projects that you can't even imagine. That's the covenant I will be having with you. So here you have four products, the Arabic and the English only, PDF and Kindle. So a total of four products. Let's review. With the light version, you have only one English version, PDF, and the rest you will not get. And also, this has some restrictions. But with the complete package, you have English only, and you have the Kindle English only, and you have Arabic and English PDF and Arabic and English Kindle. And the PDFs, it can be highlighted and printed. Also, a digital certificate that I have created for you. So, how to download the Murad translation? But I feel that I have been talking too much, so I want to hear what you have to say at this point, at least.
No, please go ahead. I'm with you and I'm listening, and it is pretty much clear. I'll request the audience also that you have any questions or any remarks, please write in the comments, and we are going to address them. Yes, please, Saint Murad, go ahead.
Okay, so how to download the Murad translation? The link, of course, is in the description box and it's in the chat. No registration required, actually. You do not have to create any account. No credit card fees. I take care of that for you. So, a credit and a debit, they work. Apple Pay, Google Pay. Also, local currency is available. So, I think the Indian rupee is also available, a euro, like 14 currencies, and it's increasing. So you could just pay with your local currency. The whole thing takes 4 seconds to complete. Me and my friend, we tried it out. We tested it. Plus, you can easily do it by your phone, so you do not need a laptop or a desktop. However, I think it's better to download it from your laptop so that you don't get any issues. There are no issues, but you might not be able to open everything by the phone. Just get it through the laptop, then transfer it to your phone or to your Kindle. That's better. Download right away. It is also available on Patreon if you prefer the Patreon option. Just check it at my Patreon, Saint Murad. I will eventually reply to every single comment of people who downloaded my translation. Also, you could inbox me any questions you have. It might take me a while to reply. There are a lot of people messaging me, but I will eventually reply. Disclaimer: this Quran translation assumes the Quran to be 100% Arabic. It does not include the Aramaic reading of the Quran. It is sort of a let's give Arabic its best shot. A complete Aramaic reading of the Quran would be an entirely different project with an entirely different concordance, again, built from scratch. Depending on how people will respond to my content, it might be a separate project in the future. An Aramaic reading of the Quran cannot come into existence without this work being established first. A completely new Aramaic concordance has to be built upon a strong Arabic concordance. It is sort of you can't bench press real heavy unless you advance the lighter weights first. No one benches this heavy without going through this first. This is just logic. So, what do you think so far?
It's very pretty much clear. Please go ahead.
Okay, again, do we need another Quran translation? The $1 million question. Let me ask you, do you actually have a Quran translation? What you have is a mere shadow of it. On the left, you have the Mona Lisa. It is like calling this the Mona Lisa. These are the translations, like the ones on the right. Do you need another translation? Oh, of course you do, because you do not have one. Oh, and by the way, if you know of any Quran translation that is ultra literal, has no brackets, based on linguistics and not on the sin, then you do not need my translation. But if you don't know of any, then we are back to square one. You have the light edition and the complete package. You choose you. You choose whatever you like. You do you. Download whenever you like, but believe me, you will be missing out on a lot of fun reading this masterpiece. And at this point, I have finished the presentation and I will get back to you.
Yes, Saint Murad, thank you so much for the great presentation, and I can see that it's not a overnight job. You have spent your precious 4 years alone to do the first the concordance, and then gather all the material, and not alone only one translation, but there are four kind of books what you have given us. It's a great gift, and I can see that it's a very much big effort, and the whole all hard work you have done. And as you said that you are one person, there is no team behind it. So it's a very great job what you have done. And I'll request our audience also that if you have any questions, please post in the chat, and we will try to answer. Saint Murad will answer all the questions. And same time, I'll request you guys to please go to the link also I have given in the description, and even I have pinned in the comment section, and you can see that buy me a coffee, where you can get translation. There is a free version as well. It's there are paid versions also, so go and grab your copy, and you can take the benefit from it. Plus please subscribe Sain Murad channel also. So yes, Sain Murad, I can see that today's presentation is very much clear, and there are, even though people are listening, but there are no questions in the comment. Let's see. Over to you.
Yeah, so people they could put their questions if they have any. So as you see, this Quran translation it doesn't have a lot of the words which we are used to, like the word yathrib, for example. The word yathrib it doesn't necessarily mean a place. In the Arabic dictionary, it means something else. You see, so it's some sort of an action. There is someone
What
here
we have,
said,
Saint Murad, what I know, what I learned, Yatrab is Medina Munawwara, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's
yeah,
taken for Medina.
but
Yes.
if you look in the Arabic dictionary, you will find that this word has a meaning. This is not a place. You see,
Mm-hmm.
so it is not even a place. But why do they put it as a place? This comes from the sin standard Islamic narrative. They
Mm.
made it as a place so that they attach the prophet to it. Because even if you look
Mm.
at when did Yathrib change to Medina on the maps, it happened much later. It should happen in the 7th century. No, it happened much later, centuries later, because the whole thing was invented later. I see here
Mm.
ex-Muslim Fatima. It says Murad, كيف حالك? I say I am good. I will say Namasti Behan. These are the
Interesting.
these are the only two words that I have learned so far.
No, you know the Bhai word also, I believe.
Yeah, Bahai. Yeah.
Yes, it's for the brother, literally brother. We say in respect. So, so I believe there are no questions, and it's very much crystal clear to everyone. So then we'll close the stream, Saint Murad. And what you say, please?
Yeah. So people, they should. I see here there is just one question before we close, or a
Yeah, yeah,
comment.
yeah.
I have no questions, but I just want to thank you for hosting Murad. His work will be a changing cause of history, and I have sent to many influential people in Denmark in hope of spreading the message. This is HH. Thank you, HH, because I have seen your comments everywhere. So thank you very much for all the love. I really appreciate that. And people who got my translation, they are shocked, still shocked, and they keep on reading because the more they read, the more shocked they get. And this is the good part about it. So my last words are thank you, Behan, for having me here. And I am happy that the audience enjoyed this. Get my translation because you will be missing out on a lot of fun, like you can't even imagine. So download it and tell me what do you think. And thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Saint Murad, coming and giving us your precious time. So, and you are most welcome for future streams also. And I really appreciate that you came and you shared this all precious things with us and for our audience here. And I really like to thank the audience also, our mods who were there in the chat. And I'll request the people who are listening now or in future afterwards when they'll listen to the recording, already buy me a coffee link is there in the description. You can go and grab your copy. There is a free sample also, so you can download that. It's a sample, so you will get the idea which kind of translation you are going to get and paid for. And then I'll suggest go ahead and had the paid version also. So it will be really fun and more knowledge you can gain. And please subscribe to Saint Murad channel also. And thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Murad. Thank you once again. And I'll close the stream. And God bless you all wherever you guys are. And have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening. Thank you so much for joining.